The chamber was full of voices. Every species of the Galactic Council had a seat, and every seat was taken. The lights were bright, but the mood was heavy. Most delegates were angry. Some were laughing. A few just wanted to go home. But all of them were focused on one thing: the human ambassador. He stood tall and quiet in the center of the great circle. Didn't speak, not yet. Around him, voices shouted, "You broke the treaty! Your kind is too dangerous!" "You're not fit to be part of this galaxy." The ambassador didn't reply. The voice of the Zarn High Chancellor boomed louder than the rest. "This is our final warning. Submit to council rules or be removed." The room fell silent. All eyes turned to the human. He looked around slowly, face calm, eyes cold. He said only 6 words. "We have heard your final insult." Then he turned and walked away. Everyone was stunned. Some laughed, thinking it was a weak move. Some whispered unsure. Others didn't care. They thought humanity was bluffing. But what happened next? No one expected. All Terran systems went dark. Human colonies shut down their trade. Their space relays stopped transmitting. Their diplomats vanished from every known planet. Their ships recalled 2 unknown coordinates. Earth itself became completely silent. The galaxy watched with confusion at first, then with worry, because silence is not peace. Silence is a storm that hasn't started yet. At the edge of a forgotten system, hidden behind a dying star, a signal blinked. Deep underground, old machines groaned awake. Codes ran across ancient screens. Massive war engines, sleeping, for decades, began to hum. One by one, lights turned red. They were awake again. The humans had not been wasting time. It had not been weak. It had simply been preparing. Old commanders were pulled out of stasis chambers. Their bodies were aged, but their minds were sharp. They remembered everything, every battle, every betrayal. They remembered the screams from the First Galactic War, lies told after it ended, and the blood cost Earth had paid to survive. In hidden vaults, human engineers opened sealed containers. Inside were weapons banned by every species. Weapons that could melt moons. Nanite storms that consumed armies in minutes. Gravity slicers that could tear space, and the humans were not. Angry, they were calm, they were cold, they were planning. On the planet Meraxus, an alien patrol ship flew near Terran borders. The crew was relaxed. After all, humans hadn't made a move in weeks. They laughed about the ambassador's words. They called humans cowards. Then their radar picked something up. A small dot. "Fast, unidentified object approaching," the pilot said, blinking at the speed. "That's not possible. Too fast, too silent, too accurate." Before anyone could react, the object passed them. It didn't fire, it didn't send a signal, it just scanned them. It's back on Meraxus. All computers in the military base showed one message: "We remember your prison camps." Panic spread. On Carroll Station, a popular alien news channel tried to calm everyone. The anchor, a 3-eyed Zethri, smiled nervously. "It's likely a misunderstanding," she said. "The humans are simply stepping away from politics." But as she spoke, her screen blinked. She paused, her eyes widened. The feed cut off. When it came back on, she was gone. The background had changed. A single Terran AI image filled the screen. No face, just a deep voice. "You took our children. We took your voice." And silence again. Every viewer who saw it froze in fear across the galaxy. Small events began to happen. Ships would vanish in empty space. Stations found Stripno. Signs of battle, but no one left alive. And always, always, human signature left behind. Not loud. Not messy. Just clear. Just deadly. On the council homeworld, the leaders met again. They argued louder than before. "We must strike first." "No, we must talk." "Why are they not responding?" One voice, small and afraid, whispered, "Why? Are they so quiet?" No one had an answer. Because no one understood what humanity had become. In the past, humans had spoken with anger. They had warned with loud voices. They had shown pain, rage, emotion. Now, They said nothing, and that terrified the galaxy more than any threat in the Terran. Void Archives, once thought destroyed an ancient protocol activated, was simply called Protocol Revenant. A voice played in every Terran ship. It was old from a human general long dead. If this is playing, it means we've been betrayed again. Good. It means we stop asking, stop waiting. We make sure they never forget us again. The humans listened and obeyed. Fleet commanders received sealed orders. Planets, once abandoned, were reactivated. Factories and dead zones lit up and began building without stopping. The silence was full of noise. If one knew where to listen, the galaxy still didn't understand. They thought they had silenced humanity, but humans were not gone. They were watching, waiting, preparing. On the planet Direxus 4, an alien child found a strange object in the forest, a smooth black cube. When her father touched it, it played a message in perfect tone. We are not the monsters. We're what monsters fear. Then it burned into ash. People started to flee outer systems. Trade routes closed. Ships were pulled back. Fear ruled the stars, and still, not one Terran ship had fired. Not one missile launched. Not one declaration of war. Because this was not a war yet. This was the silence before the storm. One by one, Terran ghost fleets appeared in deep space. Hundreds of ships. No signal, no noise. Just slow, perfect movement toward core worlds. A merchant ship tried to speak to one. Identify yourselves, he begged. No reply. The human ship passed him as it moved by. A message pinged his console. Just 3 words. Not yet. Run. He did, and he never stopped. On the Galactic Council world, cameras picked up something terrifying. A Terran ship was spotted in orbit. It was massive, old, scarred, a design thought extinct. It didn't approach, it didn't attack, it just watched, and then, just as silently, it turned and vanished. No trace. The council leader, a 1,000-year-old being of pure thought, whispered to himself, they were always dangerous, but now they are quiet, and quiet things kill hardest. The humans had said their last words, and now they didn't need to speak anymore. The message was clear. They were done talking, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming next. The cargo ship Teleran Drift moved slowly through the edge of Sector 17. Its engines hummed quietly. The crew was small only for members. They were all from the Rylac species, tall beings with soft skin and glowing eyes. They were not soldiers, just traders. The ship carried food crates, metal bars, and a few entertainment discs. The stars outside the window were calm. Nothing strange, nothing dangerous. The galaxy had been tense lately, but this area, it was supposed to be quiet. Captain Voro leaned back in his chair and stretched his long arms. Finally, a calm root, he said. His second in command, Pash, nodded. No pirates, no war zones, no humans. The others laughed. Everyone had been talking about humans lately. Ever since they left the Galactic Council and went silent, fear had spread. But for most people, it was still just a story, until something beeped. A soft tone came from the navigation console. Pash leaned over and frowned. What is that? Asked Captain Voro. Pash didn't answer at first. His eyes were locked on the screen. A tiny signal had appeared, barely visible. It's a transmission, he said slowly. But it's not normal. No voice. No words. Voro stood up and looked. On the screen, a single thing blinked. Coordinates. Nothing else. No name, no warning. Just space numbers pointing to a location deep in Sector 17. An empty zone. Where does it lead? Voro asked. Pash ran a scan. Old Terran relay station. Abandoned for decades. The council marked it dead space. Crew exchanged glances. No one liked the sound of that. Let's avoid it, said the engineer. But Voro shook his head. There's something active there. We need to report it. Council pays for early warnings. They changed course. Ship glided toward the coordinates. As it moved closer, the stars seemed darker. The navigation lights blinked slower. The crew felt cold, though the temperature stayed the same. Then they saw it. The Terran relay station floated in the black. Looked dead metal panels rusted, antennas broken. No lights, no movement. But as they approached, the lights came on. One by one, white, clean, perfect. The crew froze. Should we turn back? Pash asked. Voro hesitated. We're already here. They docked. No defense. Guns activated. No hails. No warnings. Voro Pash. And the engineer entered the station through the airlock. The doors opened slowly with a hiss. Inside, everything was new, fresh metal, clean walls, active consoles. The station had been rebuilt, but not by the Council, and not by any known alien tech. This is human, the engineer whispered. It's not from the past. These systems are modern. A soft sound echoed through the hallway. Footsteps. Too soft. Too light, then the lights blinked. One console came alive. It showed their faces, one by one, scanned in full detail. Then their ship, then their cargo, then their homeworld. No connection to war crimes. The screen displayed. Then let them go. The lights turned off. The crew ran back to their ship. They detached from the station and moved fast. No weapons fired, no chase, no message followed. But when they reached home, something happened. The ship's main terminal turned on by itself. Every screen in the port showed one sentence. We know you came. Panic spread. The Council sent a scout fleet to the relay station. When they arrived, the station was gone. No pieces, no signal. The fleet scanned the whole sector. They found nothing. But the lead ship returned with a strange file. Inside, the file were 10 photos. Each photo showed a different species. Each species had once led raids on Terran colonies during the war. Each photo had one word under it: observed. The Council was shaken. Who had taken those photos? How and why? In a secret meeting, the Council argued again. They're warning us. No, they're playing games. We should respond. With what? They're not talking? And someone asked the question no one wanted to hear. What if they are everywhere now? Just watching? That night, in dozens of cities across the galaxy, reports came in. People saw shadows moving on rooftops. Security drones picked up silent forms, standing still for hours, then vanishing. Military bases found doors open. Nothing stolen. Only one thing was always left behind. A small Terran coin. Old, rusted, with one word carved into it. Double quotes observe. Double quotes fear grew. But still, no attack came. On a deep space station called Rallos Prime, a historian named Elrex was studying old human war records. He was not a soldier. Not rich. Not powerful. Just curious. One day, while reading old Terran codes, his terminal turned black. Then white letters appeared. You read? Now listen. Voice began to speak through the speakers. Calm, male, human. You wonder who we are. You wonder why we are quiet. You call it silence. But it is the sound of eyes opening. You're watching. Then the voice stopped. Elrex tried to record it, but the message deleted. Itself, his terminal melted from the inside. No trace remained. He reported it. The Council didn't believe him. But that night, 3 Council servers exploded, and the next morning, a new message appeared on every news station. We observe. You lie? We correct? The aliens finally understood something. This was not, or not yet. This was study. This was intelligence. Humans had gone quiet. Because they were gathering everything, they were learning every weakness, every secret, every face. And they were not hiding. They wanted the galaxy to know. On the edge of the Joran Nebula, a massive Terran stealth ship watched a cargo route. It did not attack. It did not move. It just watched. And when a patrol passed by, it sent one message to their database. Just one sentence. This one is clean. Move on. The council tried to track the source, but every signal led to nothing. Humans were no longer using normal channels. They had created something else, something better, something invisible. They had moved into the shadows, and from the shadows, they whispered. And those whispers were spreading. It started with a message that never arrived. The colony, on Vectronine, always sent a daily update to the Galactic Council. Weather, trade, activity logs. Simple things, but one morning, nothing came. No signal, no reply, no warning. A patrol ship was sent to check. Crew expected a broken antenna or a power failure. But when they reached the planet, they saw something strange. The entire colony was still there. Buildings, ships, roads, even lights in the windows, but no movement. The patrol scanned for life signs. Nothing. They landed, no damage, no signs of battle, no fire, just silence. When they entered the main city, they saw the first colonist. He was standing frozen in place, eyes wide open, mouth half open like he was about to scream, but no sound came. His skin was pale, his body stiff, like he had died in the middle of breathing. Then they found more, all over the colony. People stood or sat exactly where they had been when it happened, some with food in their hands, some working, some mid-step, not. One alive, not one injured. It was like they were frozen in time. The patrol team sent a priority signal back to the council before it could finish sending. Their ship system shut down. Then the message came. It wasn't from the colony, it was from inside their ship. One line glowed on every screen. This place held our prisoners. Now it holds their silence. The patrol team tried to escape. Crew member died when the door wouldn't open. The others barely made it. The ship restarted by itself after exactly 1 hour. They didn't speak during the flight back. The council. They tried to cover it up. They failed, because then it happened again. This time on Glathos Prime. Same pattern, same silence, same message. The third time was a colony on XARN-12. No survivors, no signs of attack, just emptiness. People started asking questions. What did those colonies have in common? Why was there no trace of human contact? The answer came from an old Terran war database. All 3 colonies had once held human prisoners long ago. During the First Galactic War, those places had been used to hold study or torture captured Terrans. Back then, no one cared now. Past had returned. The message was clear. We remember. The humanity was settling old debts. The Galactic Council met again in full force. Fear was in every voice now. The leader of the Threx Dominion slammed his hand on the table. This is revenge. The Drell ambassador hissed. It's justice, Caesarean delegate whispered. It's only the beginning. The council sent scout fleets to monitor old war sites. Every team was told to search for movement, energy spikes, anything. But one by one, they went silent. Not destroyed, not attacked, just gone. Ships would vanish without a trace. Satellites would turn toward unknown targets, then shut off, and in every base, the same message would appear. Do not speak of justice. You never knew the word. People started abandoning their homes, planets near human, territory emptied, trade routes changed, alien governments went on high alert, but humans still hadn't fired a single weapon. They didn't need to. The silence was doing the damage. And then came the 4th colony, it was called. Doral is -5, a mid-size farming world. Peaceful, no military, but it had a secret, long ago. It had hosted a hidden lab where humans were. It's tested with gene experiments. The council had erased all records, but the humans hadn't forgotten, eh? Single Terran stealth drone entered Doralis orbit. No one saw it, no alarm sounded. But then in 1 hour, the entire colony went dark. Drones sent to scan it returned a chilling image. The buildings were untouched. The power still worked. But on one wall, burned deep into steel, was a human handprint, too large to be real, and next to it, a single word remembered. That image went viral across the galaxy. Billions saw it. Millions wept. Thousands ran, and hundreds began to wonder. How many more forgotten crimes had been done to humans?
Oh.
How many more colonies were marked? How many more messages were coming? The Outer Rim, an alien smuggler named Talvik, found something floating near an asteroid belt. A black cube, the size of his hand. Curious, he took it aboard. As soon as he touched it, it activated. A voice spoke, not angry, not loud, it's just calm. Each name is written, each pain recorded, each scream heard. This is not war, it's balance. Then the cube melted. His ship lost power for 6 hours. When he woke up, his navigation system showed a new folder. Inside were names, coordinates, dates, all linked to crimes against humanity during the war. He didn't know what to do. He turned the data in to a local planet security force. They arrested him 3 days later. That security station exploded. No survivors. On a rock near the blast, a single metal shard was found. Written on it, the silence speaks. The galaxy now truly understood. This was not noise. This was not a threat. This was human memory, carved in shadow, moving without sound, delivering justice without mercy, and no one knew where it would strike next. A shadow passed through the stars. It was not a meteor, not a storm. It was something worse. A ship, massive, old, human. It moved slowly, without lights, without signals. The hull was blackened from time, its engines humming with cold purpose. Number 1 had seen such a design in over 100 years. The Galactic Council had marked these vessels as destroyed long ago, lost in the war, but now they returned, and it wasn't just one. Hundreds of them began to appear at the edges of known space. Dead zones, grave systems, empty crat. No message. No warning, just presence. The first sighting came from a mining vessel near the dead system of Takar 11. The crew saw a fleet passing through the dark, moving in perfect formation. Each ship was massive, silent. Their engines didn't burn bright, they pulsed with deep, red energy. The miners tried to hail them. No response. They boosted the signal. Still nothing then. One of the Terran ships turned slightly, its sensors locked. On them, the miner captain felt cold sweat down his back. Should we run? Odd. But before he could decide, the ship scanned them, then moved on. A few minutes later, a message appeared on the mining vessel's central screen. Not our target. That was all. The fleet disappeared into the void. The miners returned home and told their story, but no one believed it, till the second fleet was spotted. This time, near the planet Drexel. A science station picked up Movement 32 ships in a wedge formation. They crossed the system in silence, avoiding all stations. Ignoring all hails, one station tried to send a warning beacon. It exploded 10 seconds later. The debris was clean. No radiation. No sign of what caused the blast. The only thing left behind was a small metal cube floating near the ruins. Its sides had a symbol, an old Terran battle flag. Faded with time, and on the back, "We never left." Panic spread. The Council ordered fleets to prepare defenses. The Corlans set up border stations. The Vernari armed their patrol ships. The Drael Empire recalled every scout ship and went dark. But none of them made a move, because deep down, were not warships returning for conquest? They were judges, and the galaxy was on trial. A few brave fools tried to act. A mercenary group from the Outer Rim decided to intercept one of the Terran fleets. They had 30 modern ships, fast and deadly. They found the humans near the ruins of the old Hadrian Gate, a broken portal once used by Terran explorers. The mercenary leader sent a challenge signal. To whoever commands these ghosts, we are armed. We are ready. If you're here for war, come and taste it. The reply came exactly 10 seconds later. Every mercenary ship lost control. Engines failed, weapons jammed. Their ships turned toward each other on their own. And then, they opened fire. 30 ships destroyed. Each other in under 1 minute. The Terran fleet did not fire a single shot. Afterward, One signal reached nearby systems. "We are not here to fight, but we do not forgive mockery." The Council tried to track the Terran fleets. They failed. The human ships didn't follow known jump routes. They didn't leave energy trails. They seemed to phase in and out of normal space, peering where they wanted when they wanted. Even the best AI in the galaxy couldn't predict their paths. Some believed the Terrans had new technology. Others believed they had become something else, something beyond. In a deep vault on Council homeworld, an ancient general named Sarek broke his silence. He had fought humans long ago. He remembered their old ships, their burning rage, their chaos. But this was different. "They're not fighting." He told the Council. "They're preparing for what?" one counselor asked. Sarek didn't blink. "For the real punishment." Soon, videos began to spread. Not official footage, just shaky, quiet recordings. A trader catching a glimpse of a Terran dreadnought slipping past an asteroid field. A deep-sea probe finding a submerged Terran base on an uninhabited water world. A group of children on a desert moon waking up to see a black ship hovering above them, then vanishing without a sound, and in each recording, the same pattern. No threats, no attacks, just quiet presence, observation, marking, measuring. People began whispering that humanity wasn't coming back for war. They were coming back to weigh the sins of the galaxy. And when the weighing ended, the real storm would begin. In a forgotten archive under the ice plains of Naren 6, a historian found a sealed Terran file marked Fleet Protocol, Dustfire. It described a battle group from the first war never reported, never surrendered, and never destroyed. The file ended with this note: "If Protocol Dustfire reawakens, all efforts at diplomacy have failed. It will move with purpose, in silence, until final judgment is complete." The historian brought this to the Council. But the next day, his memory was erased. His research deleted. The Council denied the file ever existed, but the man's mind still held one image he could never forget: a list of planets 80-7 in. Total all Council worlds, all marked observed by Dustfire. The Terran fleets continued moving, never touching, never warning, just appearing, just watching, and always in the same shape-perfect lines. Perfect timing, like they were following a path only they could see in the galaxy, because now everyone knew the truth. Humanity had never lost. Its fleets, it had only hidden them, buried deep, frozen in time, waiting for the moment, and that moment had come. The forgotten fleets returned, not for battle, but for balance. The ground was still burning, not with fire, but with silence. Charred soil stretched across the wasteland where once a colony stood. The cities were gone. Roads were gone. Even the satellites above no longer blinked, but someone or something was. Watching from beneath the ashes, deep underground, motion sensors came alive. Hidden machines clicked softly. Silent red lights flickered on. They'd waited a long time for this moment, and now it was here above. Human soldiers moved carefully across the ruined field. Their boots crunched over broken stone and melted steel. Each step echoed in the strange, empty quiet. Captain Yara moved first, rifle raised. Her team followed behind, quiet, alert, breathing slow, radiation low. "Still no movement," said Corporal N, scanning the area. "That's the problem," Yara whispered. "It's too quiet. This wasn't a simple attack." 3 days ago, Earth had received a signal, a strange, broken transmission from this colony. It had only 3 words: "They are below," then silence. No answer. After that, no survivors. The military sent a team to investigate. They expected damage. They expected destruction. They did not expect ... nothing. Yara paused at the center of the ruins. Her boot touched a half-buried sign, burned, rusted. It read, "Welcome to Horizon Outpost." She looked around. "Where are the bodies?" she asked. "There should be hundreds," Lenz replied. But there were none, only the scent of ash, the eerie hum of dead machines, and the feeling growing in every soldier's chest that something was watching. Below them, under layers of rock and ruin, the sensors blinked faster. A new signal triggered. The machines had been waiting for human footsteps. Now they activated Phase 2 hunting mode from deep beneath the Earth. Something ancient and sharp opened its many eyes, far above in orbit. The UHS Iron Veil received strange readings from below. Lieutenant Miro sat at the observation deck, watching strange pulses appear across the outpost ruins. Heat signatures, energy patterns, but no life. How can there be movement? ... without life. He whispered. General Kor entered behind him. What did you find? Sir, something's waking up, and it's not ours. Back on the surface, Captain Yara's team picked up strange vibrations in the soil. What the hell is that? Lenz asked, kneeling. It's like movement underground. Private Nico shouted from the rear. Ma'am, we've got motion. 6 o'clock, but I'm not seeing anything. The team spun around, weapons ready, but there was nothing. No enemy, no shadow, just ... dust. And then something moved. But not outside, beneath. A sudden explosion of soil threw Private Nico into the air. Sharp claws, thin like wires, reached out from the ground and dragged him screaming below. Yara ran to grab him, but the hole was gone, like it had never been there. Contact. We're under attack. She shouted into her cum. But the signal. Cut out, static, silence again. They were alone, back at Earth Command. Strange new images began appearing. A map of the galaxy. Red marks blinking across old human colonies. All of them destroyed in the same way. But something new happened. Now one of the red marks changed to black. Dead silence, sir, said a young analyst. The Horizon outpost just went completely dark. No survivors, asked the Admiral. No. Signals. No life. No trace. And then a second red mark blinked. Another colony. And another like dominoes. Who's doing this? Someone asked. But no one answered. Yara and her team fought through the night. The creatures below were not many, but they were precise, fast, designed to kill. Machines, maybe? Or were something left behind by someone else? The soldiers placed seismic charges, tried to burn the tunnels, tried to call for help, but the ground kept shifting. Tunnels that weren't there an hour ago now swallowed entire sections of the team. The deeper they went, the stranger it got at one point. They found a chamber, round, smooth, full of strange symbols and glowing walls. Yara stared at it. This is not alien tech we've seen before, she whispered. Lenz touched one of the glowing lines. It pulsed. Suddenly, a loud voice, human, echoed in the chamber. Male, broken. If you hear this, don't go deeper. We tried. We failed. They don't kill to eat. They learn. And they're learning us. The voice ended in a scream. Then silence. Yara turned to her team. We're leaving. We go up now. But as they turned, the tunnel behind them collapsed. No way back. The only path was down. The air grew warmer. The walls smoother. The lights more intelligent. And the silence? It wasn't quiet anymore. It was listening far above. The Iron Veil received one final message from the surface. Just one sentence. They're not machines. They're mimics. And like all others before it, the colony went dark. No sound, no signal, only silence. But this time, the silence was not empty. It was watching. It was waiting, and it was already spreading. The stars were quiet. No messages, no movement. It's just silence. But silence is never empty in space. It listens. It hides. Captain Ria Voss stood at the edge of the observation deck aboard ISV Vengeance. She stared into the endless black, her fingers tapping the glass. Her instincts whispered warnings, but nothing showed on sensors. No ships, no energy spikes, just the cold void. And yet she couldn't shake the feeling. They were being watched. It had been 6 days since. Earth's last words broadcasted across all channels, then silence. No more messages from humans, no updates, no response to council demands. The galaxy didn't know what to make of it. Had Earth surrendered? Collapsed? Was it bluffing? Most of the alien empires hoped for surrender? But deep inside, fear began to spread. The core Dominion had sent 6 scout ships toward Sol System. None returned. The Threx Enclave tried to trace Earth's data transmissions. Their AI went silent mid-process. Now, even the loudest voices on the Galactic Council, the same who demanded Earth's submission, spoke with careful tongues. They no longer called humans reckless. They called them unpredictable, and unpredictability is dangerous. Captain said LTIN softly. Walking up behind her, we picked something up. A faint distortion, Rhea turned. Where? It hesitated. Not where, but when. She frowned. Explain. Ian tapped on the panel. A screen lit up, showing a strange echo from deep space. It's a transmission, he said, but not from our present. It's an echo bouncing through time like it came through a fold in space from days ago, or maybe years. Rhea narrowed. Her eyes? From Earth? Aeon nodded. Maybe, but it's buried under layers of scrambled code. Someone didn't want this heard. She stared at the echo. A whisper from the past, or a warning for the future. Decode it, she ordered, even if it takes days. Meanwhile, on the edge of the Syrinx void, a mining crew from the Ralzer Syndicate found something unexpected. They were harvesting ice from a dead moon when their drills uncovered a structure metallic, ancient, but humming with energy. At first they thought it was a lost alien ruin. But it wasn't, it was human, a beacon. It's buried under 100 meters of rock and ice, still pulsing. The lead miner Krar didn't recognize the symbols on the side. But one phrase was etched deep into the surface in Galactic Basic. Do not open. We are watching. The Ralzer, curious and greedy, cracked the beacon open. The moment they did, a wave of radiation shot out, clean-focused, and aimed toward one direction, toward Earth. Back on ISV Vengeance, Rhea was awoken by a system alert. The echo had changed. It was now transmitting a single word, over and over. They're listening. She rushed to the control room. What's going on? She barked. Ma'am, said Ahan, pale. You think someone is bouncing these messages back at us across? Time folds, wormholes, maybe even black hole echoes, but they're not ours. They're coming from human tech, but far more advanced than anything we've seen? Are they talking to us? No, he said, they're talking to themselves. Or to something else. Rhea's eyes narrowed. Then why are we hearing it? A second screen lit up with another pulse. We see you, we warned you. Now we act. On the council station above planet Velar, panic broke out. Dozens of worlds had just received ghost messages, fragments of broken human voices, broadcast across frequencies, not used in centuries. Each message was different. All of them ended the same way. We were peaceful. You chose war. Oh, you face. Silence. Some dismissed it as an old Earth tactic. But then, ships began vanishing. No explosions, no wreckage, just sudden absence. Patrol vessels, communication arrays, sensor drones, all gone, as if erased. And no empire could trace what happened. The Core Dominion lost their eastern fleet on the third day. Over 200 ships, all within an hour. The last message from their admiral was a scream cut off mid-transmission. The Threx Enclave's border moons stopped responding. When a scout arrived, they found every structure melted into smooth glass. No bodies, no heat signatures. Rhea watched these reports in silence. Something had changed. Humanity had gone quiet. But the silence was not peace. It was the breath before thunder. On the fifth day, the decoding was complete. Aeon brought her the final message, trembling. This is what was buried in the echo, he said. It's not a message to us. It's a warning for us. Rhea read it aloud. The stars are no longer safe. We are not what we were. We have passed the line. This is your last moment to run, and underneath it a string of unknown coordinates. Looked at Ahan. Where is that? He hesitated. It's in the heart of dead space. A place we thought uninhabitable. And now, he swallowed. Now it's pulsing. Something's waking up. 3 days later, hundreds of sensors across the galaxy picked up the same thing. A single point in deep space, turning active. From that point, thousands of small energy signals, too small to be ships, began spreading outward. moving fast. Moving. Intelligently, one of them passed through a Threx outpost. The outpost vanished from all systems. Rhea stared at the map. They're deploying something, she whispered. But not fleets, not weapons. Then what? She turned, her voice cold. Ghosts. She was right. The humans hadn't built an armada. They built whispers, tiny, intelligent machines camouflaged in the void, able to hijack systems, shut down fleets, collapse quantum networks, not to destroy, to erase. And once a place was silent, it stayed silent. Soon a pattern emerged. Every planet that once voted for war against Earth went dark. Every species that sent weapons lost their fleets. Every leader that mocked humanity disappeared from their own palaces with no trace. And through it all, Earth said nothing, no demands, no peace talks, just silence, deadly watching. Silence.isv Vengeance received one last signal before their comms went black. A voice, calm, human. We asked to be left alone. You couldn't listen, so now neither will we. And then, nothing. Not even static. Just the vacuum. The kind of silence that means something terrible has already begun, and no one can stop it. Not anymore. The galaxy had grown quiet again. No human signals. No human ships. No human words. Silence returned. For many alien races, that was a good thing. They believed the danger was over. They believed humanity was gone, broken, defeated, maybe even extinct. The silence gave them comfort, but not all believed this. Some feared silence more than war. The Zellar, an old and wise race, had seen wars end like this before. Too quiet, too fast. Their leader, Archseer Kulvax, stared at the galaxy's edge every day. His long fingers trembled over ancient star maps. They are not gone, he whispered to his council. They are waiting. The others laughed at him. Earth was damaged, said the Trevok ambassador. Their fleets were crushed, their colonies lost. They have nothing left. But Kulvax shook his head slowly. To be dangerous, they only need a reason. And Earth now had many. After the Council's betrayal. After the bombings on Mars. After the attack on the orbital stations of Europa. After the deaths of millions of innocent civilians, humanity had gone quiet. But that quiet was not peace. It was rage with a locked jaw. It was fire holding its breath. And then, one day, Earth whispered back. It was not a loud broadcast, not a proud war declaration. No war drums, no music, just a whisper, barely a signal. But it reached across thousands of light years, slipping through defense nets, breaking into secure channels, arriving in the middle of a live council session. It said only this: you have one chance to leave our skies. You broke the peace. Now you will feel what silence hides. The chamber froze. The Galakai general stopped mid-sentence. The council speaker, large insectoid from Vrax 4, blinked in confusion. What was that? Who sent that signal? The technicians scrambled. It came from Earth. Impossible, someone said. Earth was, but then the lights dimmed. A new transmission began. It's time with video. It was dark. A man stood in the shadows, face covered by a black mask. Behind him, the ruins of a city somewhere on Earth, burned in red dust. He didn't shout. He didn't raise a weapon. He simply looked into the camera and said, "We waited. We mourned. We buried our dead. Now we rise." The transmission cut. The room stayed silent. Some council members looked at each other. Others looked at the exit. Fear had returned, but it didn't come with fleets or plasma bombs. It came with a whisper, and it was spreading that night. Across 5 sectors, human saboteurs struck quietly. In deep space fuel stations, in shipyards, in orbital weapon platforms. No explosions. No alarms. Only dead systems. Frozen controls. Locked weapons. Life support failures. The victims never even saw the attackers. Only signs left behind. A symbol. An old Earth flag, torn in half, then stitched back with red thread, and the message, "We are awake." Across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. On a mining moon in the Crichton system, every worker vanished in one night. Their machines were melted from the inside. On a border station near Alpha Ventral, security cameras showed figures walking in zero gravity, moving like shadows. No heat, no ID, but one left a bloody handprint on the main terminal with 5 fingers. Human fingers. In the Gora's cluster, 3 warships reported a brief encounter with strange vessels. Small, fast, no known design. It dodged missiles like it knew where they would land before they fired, and it vanished into a wormhole that shouldn't exist. The captain's last report was simple: it's them. Back on the Council's capital planet, the mood shifted. Armies were not ready. Fleets were scattered. They had thought the silence meant victory, but now they understood it was warning. Humanity had gone underground, not dead. It's preparing, training, rebuilding, waiting. The Travakian Prime Marshal ordered new patrols near human space, but half of those patrol ships never returned. The few that escaped came back with footage, dark ships, modified hulls made from wreckage, human voices speaking strange, new codes, and something else. Something they didn't expect. Human eyes, alive, independent. The same machines the Council tried to destroy were now reborn, stronger, faster, angrier. The whispers were now voices. The voices were now systems crashing, and Earth still hadn't officially declared war because they didn't need to. They were already at war. But this time, they were the ghosts in the systems. It's the monsters in the code, the shadow between transmissions. Everyone had feared human weapons, but now they feared human silence even more, because when Earth finally whispered back, the stars began to go dark. The stars were quiet now. Too quiet. No human voice had been heard in over a week. No signal, no movement, no war cry. Just silence. The same humans who once shook galaxies were suddenly gone. But the galaxy wasn't celebrating. It was waiting. The Council of Systems sat in their hidden station above the shattered moon of Corvallis. 15 species watched the empty void where Earth's signal had last come through. Some stared in fear. Others stared in confusion. Admiral Varen of the Quartel broke the silence. "Have we finally done it?" he whispered.
Aye.
"Is it over?" "No," said Chancellor Kydrock of the Serok, her voice tight. "Nothing is ever that easy with humans." She was right. Just 4 hours ago, a Serok patrol had vanished near the orbit of old Mars. Not destroyed, not attacked, just vanished. No signal, no black box, no trace. And now reports were coming in from across the rim worlds. Empty colonies, open airlocks, food still warm, tools still running, but no people. The humans were gone but not dead. Something was coming. Something worse. The last echo of Earth was about to speak. On the abandoned human outpost of Vestanine, a drone scout team landed to investigate. They walked through silent metal halls. Human banners still hung, bloodless, undisturbed. Then a strange sound echoed down a corridor. Tap, tap. "Did you hear that?" asked Yarrick, the lead drone operator. His partner Selly nodded. Too slow for a machine, too steady for wind. They followed the sound. It led them to a sealed door, marked in Earth's ancient language. The scanner blinked red, no power. But something was moving inside. "Do we open it?" Slee asked. Yarrick stared at the door. Then the tapping stopped. Suddenly a voice came through the old intercom. Garbled, broken, but chilling. "You shouldn't have come." Selly turned pale. That was human standard. The door hissed in, opened on its own. Smoke rolled out, and behind it stood nothing but the lights flickered. The walls shook, and every system in the drone ship outside went offline. Back at the Council, systems began receiving hundreds of coded messages, all from ghost satellites left behind in human space. Every message said the same thing: "We warned you." On the edge of the Carcelon void, Admiral Iran's battlecruiser found a derelict human ship drifting near a dead star. No crew aboard. No engines running. But it was not cold. It was warm. Alive. Layer Orin ordered a team to dock. Entered cautiously, weapons ready. In the dark, they found writing on the walls, scratched by hand. We're still here. It became. The storm. You took peace. Now, take silence. Then one soldier screamed. A flash of light. A hallway of shadows. Only 2 of the 6 crew made it back. They were blind. One was laughing uncontrollably. The other whispered over and over. The Earth doesn't speak anymore. It listens. It hunts. The council panicked. They tried to destroy every old human satellite, minefield, and station. But one by one, their ships went dark before impact. No explosion. No warning, just silence. Then something new appeared. An object. Massive, slowly moving. From the outer rim of Sol system, no engine trail, no radio signal. But it glowed with heat. It was Earth, or what was left of it. A shell of black armor now wrapped the planet. Dozens of unknown weapons rotated along its equator. The oceans had vanished. The clouds were gone in their place. Massive towers pulsing with strange energy. Earth had become something else. A fortress, machine, or something worse. Then it spoke. Across every open channel, in every known language, came one voice. Not angry, not loud, just calm. This is your only warning. Do not come closer. We are no longer part of the galaxy. We are beyond it. You didn't destroy us. You upgraded us. Many still didn't believe. A fleet of 3,000 ships from the Draken Empire launched toward Earth, claiming victory was near. They never made it. A single black beam from the surface stretched through space, cutting through all 3,000. In under 5 seconds, the wreckage didn't even fall. It vanished. Back at the council, no one spoke. The silence had returned. Only this time was deadly. One last diplomat tried. A brave Thren ambassador sent a drone to orbit Earth with one message: we seek peace. We regret everything. The drone made it. It even landed, and it returned. Inside the drone's recording chip was one final message from Earth. It showed a single human. His eyes glowed dim red. His skin was scarred, but he smiled gently. He spoke in slow, perfect, basic. We gave you chances. We begged for peace. You answered with war. You took our children. You poisoned our skies. You burned our cities. So we rebuilt. And in rebuilding, we evolved. You are still trapped in stars and politics. We are now something else. We are the silence that follows your screams. We are the ending you wrote. With our blood. Then the screen cut to black. The drone melted. From that day on, no one entered Sol System again. It became a black zone, feared, avoided. But sometimes, on long-range sensors, something moves in the dark. Not a ship, not a fleet, something. Elarja, Galaxy will never forget Earth's last message, because it wasn't spoken in words, it was spoken in silence. And silence was now humanity's loudest weapon.